Welcome back, nerds and nerdettes. I'm going to go over some of the patch notes today for the new changes that are being released today on July 4th. So with the PvE zone, you officially have the offline single-player mode. For all players with access to PvE, raids for solo players will be run on your local PC. The game experience, as well as the operations in-game mechanics, is completely identical to online play. But if you're doing a group raid, raid as a scav, or raid as Streets of Tarkov, the game will utilize their servers. So Streets, I know, is a big one for most people. That's still not going to be hosted on your PC. It's going to be on the online servers. But with a lot of it, 70% of the people playing, if they're not on servers, this might still run a little bit smoother for those who have a hard time getting into it. Wishlist mechanics. Players can add an item to one of their several created wishlist categories. The items added to the wish list are displayed in a separate section of the handbook. The handbook thing I don't really mind, but this is the cool part. Wish list items have unique visual differences. So like when you have a found in raid item you need for a task, it's yellow in the bottom right corner. It'll probably be something like that. Maybe it's green or something to let you know that it's on your wish list. When obtaining such items through various methods, the players will receive a coordinating notification, kind of like in the bottom right when they tell you things. Players can customize the frequency of notifications in the game settings, which is really cool. They didn't have to go this far with it. So if you only want to get it once or twice, whatever, you can kind of set that frequency. But that's pretty cool, especially for people who don't know what they need and they just put a list of stuff together in the handbook. This will help them find stuff without remembering every single game what they need, which is really good. Added the ability to automatically add items needed for the hideout wish list. This is great. So for anybody new or anybody who's building their hideout and you can't remember if you need vitamins or an all, or if you need 10 wires, if you have all 10, this will tell you if you need it for your hideout item. The available option, the features can be configured in game settings, which is another extra bonus, which is great. So if you don't want the notification, I'm sure you can just turn it off. But I do like this, especially for new players. That's going to be huge to help people just play the game and not have to remember every little item while running. The wish list persists after wipes. So if you create it, it'll always be there. You can clear the list manually in the game settings. In-game feedback surveys, this is your survey system. The community feedback survey system with the game in-game available in the bottom menu. So this is just for surveys for quality of life. When they ask you, do you like this? Do you not like this? You'll be able to survey it. Completing surveys helps improve the quality of the game based on the community feedback. Players can earn in-game rewards for completing surveys. So they're incentivizing you basically to tell them, I like, I don't like. Here's some information, here's some feedback. So they can collect all the details to make the game a better game and allow us to make the experience we want to play, which is great, and you get rewarded for it. This is going to be crazy for PvE where you don't have free loot runs anymore. All PMCs can now pick up items, loot crates, and bodies, trying to choose more valuable loot. So PMCs are now going to loot like you would in a real game. Real AI are going to be act like real PMCs. They can also pick up weapons and equipment, and if they find better equipment, they replace theirs with it. All PMCs can travel all over the location. So that's going to help out with factory, especially if they're going to office to loot. That's going to be huge to get your tasks done. I'm going to try that today, and I might even put that in the video, depending on how it goes. And I'll put some examples of how they move and things of that nature. They build routes to points of possible loot locations. Bots move in tactical formations, which is now going to be better for that engagement to make it feel more PvP-based. When they reach their destination point, they collect loot, and then they can wait for enemies for some time, setting up ambushes. That's going to be horrible. They already see you through bushes. They already see you through walls. They already can see you from 2-story dorms up to 3-story dorms through windows and one-tap you in the face. Now they're going to ambush you. I like it. It adds that level of challenge that PvE doesn't have. I think the big thing with PvE is people like that laid-back experience where they can engage or not engage. There are maps where I know I can run around where the PMCs are and just get stuff done, get tasks, and get out, which is a breath of refreshing air when it comes to playing the game mode. I do wish there was more interaction sometimes so they don't just stand behind walls and doors and just sit there the whole time until you throw something at them or put yourself in a bad spot. So I want to see how this works. I'm interested. All AI PMCs now extract from the location if they have collected enough loot or enough time has passed in the raid. So if you want to rat in PvE, you can hide in a bush near an extract, let them collect the loot, and actually kill PMCs at extract. So you can extract camp and wrap the game if you decided to. Really interesting here if they were loot. So now, does your insurance work different? So if you fight a PMC and then you die, do you automatically get that back because the raid technically ends and they don't have time to extract? Or does in the background this keep running and they'll take your loot and extract and exfil so you don't actually get your loot back? This could be huge for found in raid. You might lose your items now and you might have that gear fear again. All PMCs can now sprint more often when running and moving in open terrain. So if they're in fields, they're going to sprint across the fields like you would, so you're not walking in the open. All PMCs level on beginner ground 0 will be limited to level 20, which is great, just like in the real game. Once you hit level 20, you can't go into the first level ground 0. So they'll probably level the loot and body armor, soft skills, things like that for PMCs. All AI now react to the enemy if information about them came from any nearby bot. For example, if you are spotted by a bot and they yell, all bots, regardless of faction, will hear it and decide to move to your location, take cover, and perform other actions. Once again, if you're running around with a friend and you were to yell something out to your friend, say in Discord or in chat or whatever, they'll know that location. Everybody will kind of move to surround that location or push in. They're going to do that now as well. All scavs will now travel all over the location in search of valuable items. But now scavs are going to travel. Scavs are less picky about loot, quality, and AI PMCs. Scavs move between potential loot destinations and tactical formation if they are traveling in a group. So now, these runs you've been seeing me do in customs, I know I'm only a couple games in, and in woods is going to be crazy now because you're not going to know where they are. They're going to be behind bushes and trees and rocks. They're going to be scavenging the area just like you. You're not going to be able to just sprint into USEC camp, grab all the good loot, and get out. You're going to have to tactically insert yourself into USEC camp because they could be anywhere in that area looting. Now, when you kill PMCs, loot their bags, loot their pockets, loot their rigs because they could have valuable loot on them, just like if you were playing the real game. This is the first iteration of all AI improvements for PvE mode and future updates. We also plan to refine the tactical behavior of AI as well as the interacting systems between AI and different factions. My issue with this, they didn't adjust the AI aimbot, their ability to one-tap you in the face every single time they see you, or they're standing in place, walking into a wall, not even moving. There needs to be a happy medium between their interactions. So if they are scavenging, if they are looting, if they are traveling tactically and ambushing you, I have played PvP. Not everybody hits you in the face every single time. You're going to get shot all over the body. With AI, they need to work on their aim. Allow them to hit you in the chest maybe once or twice, in the arm. Maybe they hit you in the helmet every now and then. But if you run into an AI PMC that's traveling around the map in a group of 4 and you're solo playing this mode, you are going to get destroyed with their aimbot, especially if they're tactically moving around, throwing grenades, pushing, rotating, circling you. It will be more engaging. It'll be more fun, but they can't make the AI snap onto your face every single time because you'll just never survive a raid. And then PvE will die very fast for a lot of people. New tasks, nostalgia. These are some of the unheard mark weapon for PvE. All this stuff is going to start coming out. Customizing. So I don't like this either. I'm not going to go through and read every little bit. The AI is the most important part I want to talk about. Bears and USEX can buy GP coins. They can buy new gear from Ref. We don't even have Ref. I had him episode 1, and he was in my traders. And then after, I think I was at 2 or 3, he just disappeared. So we can't even get that. That won't matter. They expanded in your profile. So if you go to the online website, you can reset your PvE and PvP progress separately or together. So you can manually wipe your PvE account. So maybe you're already level 52 and you wanted to record videos. Now you can start over from scratch and record it with all the new features and functions, try it out, see if the progression is different. This won't matter to PvE. Players now will get compensation for putting violators up if there are successful reports. Balance adjustment. So they're increasing spawn chance of the following optics. Basically, it looks like every variable optic in the game. I mean, some of these, the pillar, this is bad. The voodoo is good. They have a barter for it. So I'm wondering if some of the barters and items are going away or if they're just allowing for spawning in-game to be more frequent so people can find better optics early so you don't have to wait to late-game barters. We'll have to play and see how that works. It's reducing the recoil of basically all your bolt actions, which is great because now if PMCs are running around and I have a DVL, I don't want to have to aim punch a DVL and be all over the map when I got 3 or 4 of them flanking me. Your hideout increases the level speed of hideout management and crafting skills. This doesn't take long, but it's definitely slow. They need to do this with a lot of different skills. Removes the hearing distance from perception skill. Excuse me, perception skill. So now you aren't going to hear further if your perception skill is higher, which is great for PvP, not really for PvE. You'll be able to level this skill and still get the benefits of it, but you're not going to have a tactical advantage over someone who has a level 2 when you're level 50. And then just some physical characteristics. Fix the character bodies when you're looting offline raids. Fix EFT and EFT. Great. Arena interaction UI with ref. That's not a big deal to us. So this is kind of, so that ragdoll effect when you shoot them and they're bouncing around for like 15 hours, they took that out and they fixed the death animation. And they fixed several location errors, interfaces, and tasks. You'll see a video where I finish up like 2 or 3 tasks at like one time, and I go to turn them in and I can't click accept and I can't click the next task. They just fixed those errors. So that's it. I'm really interested to see how this section right here is going to affect everyone. I am going to play today. It's 4th of July. I don't have any major plans. Barbecue, I have a couple people coming over this morning. I'm trying to get this out super early. I'll put the video up. We'll get this live so you guys can see the update. The game's not even going yet, so you'll be able to read these notes beforehand. But we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.